Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and I know y'all have seen me make cakes and candies and cookies, but today's show is all about making pastries, and I want to share with y'all a juicy and luscious peach cream tart. And then I want to fix you my Tassie Cups with a lemon curd filling. They're so good and they're going to make your mouth pucker. And finally, I want to share with y'all my almond Danish swirls recipe. It's rich with a gooey filling and a sugary sweet glaze. You know, I bet with these recipes in your file, you'll never have to visit another sweet shop again. So get your tummy and your sweet tooth ready out there, y'all, because Paula's Sweet Shop is open for business. In the kitchen and making sweets. And that's what the show's all about today. I'm opening up, just for the day, Paula's Sweet Shop. And I've got some wonderful peaches that are ripe. I wish that you could smell them. The first recipe I want to share with y'all today is a luscious peach tart. And we're going to start by making our crust. I'm going to start with 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour into our food processor, 2 tablespoons of sour cream. I use a lot of sour cream on this cooking show, don't I? Never know it's one of my favorite ingredients. All right, and then the number 1 favorite ingredient, I'm gonna add a stick of softened butter. Actually, it's not softened, it's at room temperature. And we're just gonna put the top on this. And we're gonna blend this until it forms a ball. You'll hear it turn into a ball in just a second. All right, it's that quickly it forms a ball. And then we're gonna bring this over here to our tart pan. Now I'm using a 10-inch tart pan with a removable bottom. Now I'm just gonna press this crust evenly around the pan and up the sides. In Georgia, our peaches are so good. All right, I'm gonna put this into a 375-degree oven, and we're gonna let it bake for about 12 minutes. And I've got one already in here that should be about ready. It's been in there for about 12 or 13 minutes, and it is. And I'll stick that one in and let that one bake off. You can see how pretty that is, but it's not totally done because we're gonna bake this some more. All right, our next step is we're gonna take our fresh peaches and I'm just gonna spiral these around the whole crust until everything is covered. Now I've lemon juiced these peaches to keep this from turning dark on me. It's just a perfect day for a peach tart. The sun is shining and the birds are singing and it's such a beautiful day. Now we're gonna make the filling for our tart. And I've got 3/4 a cup of sugar, 3/4 a cup of sour cream. There's that sour cream again. 3 egg yolks, and 1/4 cup of flour. And we're just gonna beat this until it's smooth. All right. You can see how quick and simple and easy that was. And now we're just gonna pour that filling on top of our peaches. And when we bring this out of the oven, those peaches are gonna be peeping out of that custard. All right, our tart's ready to go in the oven, and we're gonna lower our oven to 350 degrees. We're gonna bake this for about an hour or until the custard sets. So you'll wanna start keeping an eye on this after about 45 minutes. And I've got one over here that I think is ready to come out. Oh, yeah. Look how pretty that looks. Now, to finish our tart, we want to put a shiny glaze on it. And to do that, I'm going to use some peach preserves that have been warmed in the microwave. And I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of frozen limeade concentrate. And I'm going to brush this onto our tart while it's warm. And then I'm going to set it to the side and let it cool. And then I'm going to be digging in. After this cools, it's going to have a real pretty shine to it. Isn't that just beautiful? And you saw how easy and simple and quick it was for me to make. I can hardly wait to taste it. But we've got some things to keep us busy before I can taste. When we come back, I'm going to be making a Tassie cup that's filled with a tart, creamy, yummy, wonderful lemon curd. So I'll see y'all back in a minute because things are just getting sweet. Hey y'all, I thought I was going to have time to do this. I couldn't wait for that tart to cool, y'all. I've just got to taste it. Oh, it's so good. But there's something else I want y'all to taste too. And if I don't put that down, I'm not going to get to this next dish. This next dish is Tassie Cups filled with lemon curd. I'm going to start with a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 3-ounce block of cream cheese, 1 stick of room temperature butter, and a pinch of salt. And we're going to do this just like we did the crust for the tart. We're going to pulse it until it forms a ball. And there's that ball. All right, now unlike the tart, we're going to take this out and we're just going to wrap this in a plastic wrap, and I'm going to store it in the refrigerator for about an hour because that butter has given our pastry a real soft texture, and we want to chill it just for a little while. And I've got one in here already chilled that we're going to take out, and I'm going to show you how easy these little tassies work up. We're going to use a miniature baking dish. Now this piece of dough will make 24 cups. So to make a 12-cup container full, you'll cut it in half, and you're just going to pinch it off and form it into a ball and drop it into your cup. Just like that. And then I have these little shot glasses sitting around in the kitchen, and I'm going to take these shot glasses and I'm going to dip them in flour, and then I'm going to just start by using that to press down the cup and get it going. But you'll want to make sure that you dip it every time in the flour, or else your little Tassie cup's going to be stuck to the bottom of your glass. And then all you have to do is come back in here with your fingers and work it up the sides. Now we're going to put these in the oven and we're going to let them bake at 350 for about 20 minutes. And while these are baking, we're going to make our lemon curd. Okay. So in with those. All right, to make our lemon curd, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar into the food processor, the zest and juice of 3 lemons. So if you like tart things, today's show is just for you. We're going to add juice of 3 lemons and 4 whole eggs. All right, now I'm going to pulse this, and after the ingredients are mixed together, I'm going to slowly add a stick of melted butter. I wouldn't do that, y'all. Maybe. Now we're fixing to take our filling to a double boiler, and we're going to cook it until it begins to thicken, and that should take about 3 minutes. Won't take very long at all. And the beauty of this lemon curd, y'all, is it will last in the refrigerator for up to 3 weeks. But I've got some that I've already cooked and cooled in the refrigerator. And I've got a pan of Tassie Cups back here waiting on us. And all we're going to do, now I'm going to lift these out of the muffin tin. I think these are just easier to take out before you fill them. That way you won't be getting your fingers all in the lemon curd. And the grand thing about these little Tassie cups is you can fill them with all sorts of stuff. So I hope that you're going to like these as much as Michael does. Look how pretty. And good. When we come back, I'm going to be showing you how to make almond Danish swirl. So I'll see y'all back in a minute. I got a tart to take care of. You're not going to believe this recipe. It's so good, especially if you like almond flavoring. We're going to start with 6 ounces of cream cheese, a half a cup of powdered sugar, and a teaspoon of almond extract. And we're just going to beat this until it's creamy. And I've got my cream cheese at room temperature so it won't go flying off in chunks, hitting the ceiling or hitting me in the face. I just love almond extract. I think it smells so good. It reminds me of cherries or peaches. I don't know, maybe a mixture. Now I've got a half a cup of chopped almonds, and I'm going to add about half of that. Then I'm going to slip those right in there because I'm going to be using them on the very last step. Okay, so you can see how easy that first process is. And I have to tell you, the next thing I'm moving on to there is just something about a Southern girl in a crescent roll. We can turn it in from everything from an entree to a dessert. And that's what we're going to use to make our crust out of today. Now I'm going to gently take these apart, kind of unroll them, and I'm going to take 2 of the triangles. You can see the triangles. I'm going to lay them down, and I've got them on a floured surface. And I'm going to just dip my fingertips in some more flour, and I'm just going to seal those together, just like that, so it'll make one solid piece. All right, now I'm going to take our cream cheese filling, and I'm going to frost each one of our crescent rolls. All right, so all we're going to do is just spread that over the entire surface. All right. Okay, so the next step for us is just to roll our crescent rolls up just like that. And if you don't like almond, you could flavor the centers of these with anything you wanted. So, all we're gonna do now is throw these onto a plate, and we're gonna put them in the refrigerator and let them chill for about 30 minutes. Sure will be good. All right. We'll swap the trays. And then we're just gonna come down here and we're gonna slice our crescent rolls into 4 pieces. And to have a better eye to keep my sizes straight, I first go right down the middle and then into the middle again. So that guarantees me good sizes. And when these bake, they're gonna have a swirly top because we're standing them on their side. I'm gonna go ahead and get these started before I do the rest of them. But we've got one little step yet to go. I've got an egg white right here that I've given a little beating to, and I'm just gonna take a brush, dip it into the egg white, and brush the crescent rolls with it. And that's gonna give it a pretty shiny look. So now that we've got our wash done, we're just gonna sprinkle the tops with the other half of the almonds that we put aside. You know what? I think there's a faster way to skin the cat. How about that? All right, they're ready to go into the oven. So as I said, 350 for 20 minutes. All right, now I've got a pan that's been in here about 19 or 20 minutes. Look how pretty those look. I'm gonna take these off and I'm gonna set them on a wire rack that's been lined with parchment paper. And we've got one more quick little step to do. All right, in this bowl, we're gonna mix a half a cup of powdered sugar, and we're gonna add 4 teaspoons of milk and a half a teaspoon of almond flavoring. Now, if you weren't gonna serve these till tomorrow morning, you would throw them in the refrigerator, pull them back out. I'd pop them in the oven just for a second, and then I'd put the glaze on them right when I was ready to serve them. So all we're gonna do is just drizzle on that glaze. But I promise you this, these are better than any store-bought Danish that you can buy. What do you think? I think that I want that one right there. I just love that powdered sugar glaze. Look at these. You can see the cream cheese wanting to slip out of that twirl. They're so good. Please try this recipe. When we come back, I'm going to show you how to make a fresh chocolate mint. This is one of my favorite tips. It's a wonderful way to surprise your guest at the end of a meal. And if you're like me, you've got a garden, and I love growing fresh mint. It's just so much prettier than what I can get at the store. All right, I'm using a set of tweezers so that I won't get my hands in all the chocolate. Now, all I've done is melt some chocolate squares. Depending on the chocolate that you prefer, you can use a semi-sweet, a sweet, or a dark bitter chocolate. And we're just gonna let that chocolate drain off of them and put them on a parchment-lined cookie sheet. Now you can put this in the freezer and they'll harden very, very quickly, or you can just let them harden at room temperature on the counter, although it will take a little bit longer. And I've wax papered a rolling pin. And I'm gonna use that to drape some leaves over to give them a curve so they'll have a pretty shape like I did with these. And your guests are gonna just love their homemade chocolate mint. Well, have y'all had as much fun watching this show today as I did cooking all this stuff? I hope so. And I can't hardly wait to dig into every bit of this stuff. You know, I don't know what I want to eat first, the peach cream tart or the Tassie filled cups with lemon curd and the almond Danish swirls. Oh, I just can't hardly wait. And don't forget, one day when you've got a few extra minutes, make your own fresh chocolate mints. They're the perfect ending to a meal. Until next time, y'all, I want to send you love and all kind of sweet dishes from my kitchen to yours.